Listen to this clip from a channel called China Uncensored that talks about just how worried China is about this additional threat by Trump.
U.S. President Donald Trump declared April 2nd Liberation Day and celebrated it by imposing reciprocal tariffs on several countries around the globe, including China, which is being charged a 34% tariff on goods it exports to the U.S. This 34% doesn't include the duties that Trump already imposed on the CCP. Together with his Liberation Day additions, that means there's a total of 54% tariffs on Chinese exports to the U.S., which is likely to have a huge impact on China's already faltering economy. In addition, Trump also formally closed the de minimis loophole that allowed for duty-free shipments of cheap Chinese packages to the U.S. That basically means Temu, Shein, all the cheap Chinese crap getting hawked on Amazon. That's Dunsky.
So China's been running a big game on America, trying to avoid tariffs by sending their products to Mexico and Canada and then taking advantage of the free trade barriers to get them into the United States. That's why Trump is putting tariffs on everybody. So the people who it's really intended to impact, like China and Europe, can't circumvent these tariffs by sending them to some other place and avoiding the tariffs. And that's another reason why we're so upset at our northern and our southern neighbors, because they openly and willingly accept China sending their products into their countries to boost their economies, even though it avoided the tariffs that we put in place on them. Sounds like bad allies, sounds like bad neighbors, but let the left tell it, no, it's the United States who's being aggressive and overreacting. What I've been trying to explain to people who think that geopolitical high-level conversations are just friendly chats over tea is that there are only interests. Each country has theirs, and a lot of times they're at odds with one another. The only way to get people to do what you want is by the carrot or the stick. And we've tried the carrot the last 80 years. We gave everyone our money. We enriched every single person. We've run trade deficits with the entire globe, and it has not benefited America. And so now Trump is using the other tool in his tool belt, the stick. And the left doesn't like it because, well, first off, they're soft and they're anti-American, but they just have a fairy tale imaginary idea of how the world works, which is evident by every other thing they believe in their ideology. But they just don't grasp that things happen because you use leverage. And Donald Trump is using the leverage he has to make things happen. The Federal Reserve announced a closed meeting today where they're going to be discussing lowering interest rates to deal with the fall in stock prices. In one of my earlier videos, I touched on how this is also part of Trump's master plan so he can get interest rates low enough to refinance the almost $10 trillion of US debt that is due and save hundreds of billions of dollars per year from the government's budget. So with everything we've seen from the European leaders to China panicking, to farmers and the auto workers happy, to bond yields falling, to the Fed now decreasing rates, I don't want to get too giddy here, but it's really starting to look like everything Trump is trying to do is working out. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video, and I will see you guys in the next one.